Welcome back to Slothbox. I'm Lyndon Dixon. Adam, you're behind enemy lines.
I'm here for Katie Taylor. I came to talk to her about the boost in female boxing over the last 2 or 3 years. And she's obviously a pioneer, and she was ecstatic about what happened a couple of weeks ago at the O2. She couldn't get there. She had to watch it from training camp. I'm very close to Katie, obviously. We spent a lot of time together over the years. I'll be here on Saturday night with my kids who are inspired by her, and I wanted to get her take on how she felt about being the torchbearer, really the flag bearer, somebody that's brought women's boxing into the position it's in now. I think that there have been others, but Katie deserves huge amounts of respect and credit for doing it. Wanted to see how far she wanted to take her career as well, so came up to talk to her, and it's nice to see Ellie Scotney and some of the others too. So yeah, look, I mean, obviously Sky Business is my business, and Boxer are my promotional partners as well as Top Rank. And we've had Michaela Mayer, and we've had Claressa and Savannah, and we've had a fantastic recent time. And I wanted just to take Katie through that, and she was really pleased for Tasha Jonas particularly. In fact, she's going to headline our next show on Sky, and she's winning world titles 3 weight divisions above when they fought, and she's just brilliant, Katie, and I've come to pay my respects and see her.
Reflecting on her Shields and Marshall, I was just wondering what's next for Savannah now. Is it a rematch? Is she going to maybe look elsewhere? What do you know her more than anyone. What's next for Savannah?
I think Savannah needs a little break. She needs a rest. I thought she was fantastic on the O2 night. She put everything into it. I think she genuinely thought she was going to beat Claressa like she did in the amateurs. But she came up against, an elite fighter, superstar, and I think just those first 4 or 5 rounds, what worried me before the fight was how Claressa would start, and she started explosively and brilliantly, and she told me actually the night before that she was going to find body shots and pick some holes in the defence, and she did it early, and I think that obviously made it very hard for Savannah. It was a chasing, it was a difficult fight for her, but I give Savannah so much credit for pushing her all the way, for taking it to the wire. Who knows if there was 3-minute rounds, there's a couple more, maybe she would have managed to get to Claressa, but she lost the fight, and but she didn't lose it. She lost it on the cards, but she lost nothing from it. She's amazing where she's come from in the last 10 years. I think she's a bit of a break. She could easily have a rematch with Claressa or fight others. It's up to her. I know. I think she wants to have a family at some point. I'm sure she won't spend too long in the sport. Maybe the next year or 2, and then probably move away. But there's a huge boom time in female boxing. It's boom Tasha. It's boosted her at the back end of her career. So I don't think she wants her career to finish just yet. Maybe Savannah will just take a break, and Peter will get behind her, and he's been amazing for her. So I hope to see Savannah for another couple of years in the ring, because she looked fresh to me, and she put on a great effort. It's 1 defeat. Who cares?
Yeah. Moving on, yesterday it was announced that Conor Benn has relinquished his boxing licence with the British Border Control. What do you make of that? Some people online are saying it's an admission of guilt, but some are saying it's just the next step of the legal battle he's going to have with the British Boxing Border Control. What do you make of the whole situation?
Well, obviously I'm not involved in it. It's a process that's got to go through. It was a difficult week, obviously, for everybody, for both fighters. Chris in particular, I thought, handled themselves so well, for Kalle and Eddie and the whole show. And it wasn't a Sky show, and it's not for us to say, they should have done this, that and the other. The show was called off, and that was the right thing to do, and it was unfortunate. It was a bad week for boxing on the back of a difficult time with the whole Fury-Joshua sort of will it, won't it happen. As far as Conor Benn goes, I've known him for a long time, known Chris for a long time. I was shocked with the Conor Benn news at the beginning, but we've got to wait and see the process unfold. He's obviously, says he's innocent. Has told me that he will prove his name, and that's a process he needs to go through with his lawyers and medical team. And I read what you read that the board put out, and I think there's obviously more to come from the Benn side. So we just have to wait and see, and let's take it step by step. As I said, it wasn't our show. I feel sorry for sort of everybody involved. There's no place for drugs in this sport. But it's up to Conor to take the process further, I guess.
The last question from me. You're more than a fan of Anthony Joshua. You've worked with him. You're a close friend. There's been links with Wilder. There's been links with a rematch with Dillian White. What does Adam Smith want to see Anthony Joshua do next?
I wanted him to fight Tyson Fury is what I wanted, and I think he wanted it as well. But you know, there are other things to take into account. You know, he's coming off 2 defeats to Alexander Usyk again. Nothing wrong with that at all. He was very good in the second fight. I thought maybe he'd love that stab at Tyson Fury right now, but it didn't happen. I think he needs a break. I think maybe just a quieter sort of time over Christmas. Work out what he wants from his training team, the Robert Garcia, Angel Fernandez conundrum maybe, or how it will work. I think he needs time with KD and Freddie and everybody just to work it out, but I'm sure he'll be back February, March. I thought he'd come back against someone like Chris Arreola or Manuel Charr, but I didn't see Eddie saying that they're not talking about a softer fight. They might put him straight into something. Let's see how Dillian gets on the end of November against Jermaine Franklin. That's a fight I'd like to see. Love to see him in against Deontay Wilder. Love to see him in against Joe Joyce. Love to see him in against one day against our own Fraser Clark. There's lots ahead for Anthony Joshua. We want to see Fury and Usyk fight, so maybe he just stays away from that. Might be a bit of a global tour with Eddie dipping into Australia and UAE and everything else. I'll be looking forward to seeing AJ's next moves, and I'll always be a supporter and always be a friend.
Well, thanks for your time, Adam, and take care.
No problem at all.
Thank you.
No worries.